Childhood teaches us many things. It teaches us things that follow us our whole lives. And today, we're going to talk about why that is. We're also going to talk about one trick, one thing you can do to change the habits you don't want to have in your life anymore that come from childhood. But before we get into that, let's talk about why habits come from childhood. In childhood, we learn many things: food preferences, mannerisms, all kinds of things. Even how we talk. Where we grow up in this world, we learn accents, how to move our mouths, and strange things like side talking. One place that you may grow up in, you may call a Coke, or a soda, or a pop, and it just gets weirder the more you look at it. So where you grow up has a big influence on everything, from what you talk to how you talk, and common words and phrases, to food preferences, to TV shows, to things you're interested in. Hey, even the sports teams that you like are all based off of, generally speaking, your teams that you really enjoy. So you can see how your childhood has had big impact. I know for me personally, I grew up in a house where one of my parents did not like mayonnaise, specifically did not like mayonnaise, and taught my brothers and I not to like mayonnaise. Well, here's the crazy thing. You go out on your own, explore the world a little bit, and all of us now like mayonnaise. It's not bad. And it's made out of egg whites. So apparently it's not all that bad for you. I would be careful what's in it nowadays, but I'm no food critic. Don't take my advice there. But just an example of how your environment growing up can really shape and depict your choices, from everything from food to sports teams, like we had mentioned before. It also puts us in a mentality, right? It forms the way and lens that we look at the world most of the time. So one of the common themes that we get from that experience is a mentality of lacking, of not having enough. I grew up with brothers, and so there was always constant competition. Competition as soon as the cereal came in, or the milk, or the food of any kind. I don't know if it was intentional, but it certainly was existing. And the result was, for me, a position of lack. Also, maybe you came from a family where you had to clean your plate. And cleaning your plate was respectful to the host. It was respectful to the person that made the food. And it was a sign that you were a growing boy in my youth, and you were eating healthy as we aged. And that is something that I saw continue throughout my adult life, until I realized that I was eating way too much. Believe it or not, but my childhood, there was a period of time, let's call it very chubby. I guess that is pretty normal, but I was definitely a chubby, fat kid at one point in time. And that's no disrespect to anyone that's larger. It's just an observation that I have of myself. I ate a lot, and the result was my body couldn't keep up. Thankfully, genetics took hold, and somewhere as I was maturing and reaching a point of maturity, I shot up 6 inches within a short period of time, and became, I guess, all that energy turned into potential energy, and I lengthened out, they say. So it's really interesting to think about how childhood has an impact on us, and the way that we experienced food in the house and the competition with my brothers and I mean, we could basically never really keep any of the food in the house. We were just always hungry. And if you grew up with brothers, maybe you had the same experience. Maybe you have kids today and you see the difference between how your daughters eat or how your nieces eat and how your nephews or your sons eat. I've been told this for years now as friends have had kids, that boys, when they reach a certain age, they're just like bottomless pits. So maybe you have that experience yourself. And that type of mentality with a mom who was a teacher just turned out to never really be enough. And there was always this, the food's here, we gotta eat mentality on top of probably like hard-working, blue-collar family that had to clean its plates, right? So nothing negative there, but it put me in a position of feeling like a lack with food. And a lot of the things that we learn in childhood, the way we have to leave a room and turn off the light, good habit, but why were you told that? For me, it was to conserve energy. Well, why were we conserving energy? Well, because we didn't have money for the electric bill to leave a light on for a prolonged period of time. So you better turn that light off, right? And it goes on and on and on. So many examples in my childhood and maybe in yours that have those similar experiences. And those experiences put you in a position of lacking, right? It put me in a position of lacking. And that lacking mentality can stay with us our whole lives. The result of it is a scarcity mindset. We see everything in lack when we grow up in this manner. And when we look through a lens of scarcity at the world, we only see lack. Don't have enough money to do X. I can't go outside because of Y. You know, like there's constantly a reason that we can't do something. When it's really strange. If you can remove yourself from that environment, like for me, I was fortunate enough to leave at a very early age after graduating high school and get away from all that. And I saw that you could do things and you could have these experiences and you could find ways to make money. I think that was another great thing about it too. I know I talked about some of the negative things. This lack of mentality of not having enough put me in a position where my parents made us entrepreneurs. All right, you don't have enough. You want a new pair of shoes? You want a new shirt? Not to say that we didn't have shirts and shoes, but if we wanted something, we were told to find a way to make the money. So we raked leaves in the fall, we shoveled driveways in the winter, we mowed grass in the summer, and we did any odd job that our neighbors or anyone really wanted so we could throw a couple bucks our way. And that was a good thing in that example, but still the mentality of lack came with us. And lack is a really powerful lens to look at the world. So I just want to challenge you to ask yourself, did you have a childhood that grew up in lack? Did you have to clean your plate? Did you have stories told to you about why you had to turn off lights suddenly? Because it's a powerful, powerful thing to experience. And to change this mentality, there's one thing that we can do that's really simple. And it changes everything. Because when we look at the world with a lens of lacking, we're looking at it with a lack of love. Like there's never enough love. Maybe you experience that in your relationship. Maybe that's something that you've felt through divorce. Now by yourself, maybe you're in a place where you are lacking love, right? But the only love that we really need is the love from ourselves. And that's something that we'll talk about later on. Maybe the lens of scarcity that you adopted as a child puts you in a place of not having quality time. Quality time can look like a lot of things for a lot of people. But coming from a divorced household, You can not have quality time with maybe one or more parents. Maybe one of your parents is always working. Maybe one of your parents doesn't live in the town that you grow up in. And so it can always be this lens of lack. And we already talked about the lack of food. So one powerful technique here that's really simple, it's really easy, and it seems so easy and simple to change this lens of scarcity that it doesn't seem real. But I'm here to tell you, I did it. I heard a couple of really powerful, people are respected as thought leaders. I heard of them talking about this concept of gratitude, specifically Tim Ferriss. And he taught me about the 5-minute journal. And within first moments that you wake up, you grab a piece of paper and you write down 3 things that you're grateful for. 3 things, that's it. It's all you have to do. And if you really want to knock it out of the park at night, write down 3 amazing things that happened today. So 3 amazing things could be the incredible sunset that I watched as I drove to this location. It could have been the great day at work and helping out somebody. It could have been, opening a door for somebody that was hands are full or maybe elderly. These are small things. They could be big things too. Maybe you had a breakthrough in your life. Maybe your world has changed. So, really simple tip. To change that scarcity lens, start looking at the world with an abundance. And to do that, the easiest, fastest way to change your lens of scarcity, and in divorce, we can get stuck there. We don't see our children anymore as much as we used to. We don't have a partner there at night to tell about our day, right? It can feel like we have nothing. But if we start practicing this gratitude journal, it can change all that. So don't believe me or do believe me, but do try it out. Let me know in the comments below or reach out at 100dayhikingchallenge.com. That's 100dayhikingchallenge.com. It's where I spent 100 days filming videos, getting outside for 20 minutes, and talking to you guys about 100 lessons that I learned through divorce recovery.